Thought I would show you my setup for tracing the image of my sun and moon onto the wood surface. So this is my projector. It's an easy tracer. You can get it at most craft stores, or I think on Amazon too. And then the round is on my easel. And what you're seeing on it right now is actually the projection. So all I do is print out a little image. I think this projector will take up to 4-inch images, and then center the image in the projector, and it ends up on the round. And you sort of have to fiddle with it a little bit to get the image in the window and get the placement right on the circle. There we go. Usually when I do this with rectangular canvases, I do register marks. I'll do like a center line to keep it straight and keep it oriented properly. But with this circle, pretty much any placement that's within the circle is fine. So the next thing I'm going to do is trace this image onto the wood with a Sharpie. I'm about halfway done tracing, and you can already see the difference between the projected image and what I have traced with the Sharpie. The only challenge I'm finding right now is that because it's a circle and it has so little contact with the tray and the clamp, I'm having to steady it with my hand because it's wanting to rock a little bit, which is making lining up with the projected image a little bit of a challenge. But I've got both the faces in place and both the circles in place. So now I'm just drawing stars and rays from the sun, and I can pretty much freehand those with just a little bit of help from the projection. So I'm just going to keep going and keep working with the Sharpie. Here's my traced image on the wood. I did some tweaking of the rays as I went because I wasn't really happy with the ones that I had in the rough sketch. And I thought it would be easier to smooth out the lines and make some of them longer as I worked. So this looks a little bit different from my original sketch, but not too different. Pretty much everything is on there. Had a little trouble drawing stars that were completely symmetrical, especially as I got further out to the edge, because the piece was a little wobbly on the easel. But overall, I think this was probably the best way to get this image onto my wood. Those of you who have watched me work on other pieces have seen me do things like print out great big decals and put them onto the surface. And I thought that that was probably a bad idea for this one because it's going to take a beating from the weather. And I was afraid that putting a paper image onto this was just asking for trouble down the road. I could see it a couple years from now peeling away from the wood, which would be really ugly. So I think I'm just about ready to start painting the background on this, which will be my next project. I sort of have some idea about colors. I think I might do a little bit of work on the computer to finalize it, and if I do, I will give you a peek at those.